What's up everybody? Let's build an anime app using NextJS, HTML, CSS, and an API that calls all the anime data. Let's go. So as you can see here, this is the site. I designed it myself. It's called Anime Panda because it's cute and yeah, I guess pandas love anime. This is based on an old website, very famous, called GoGo Anime. You might have known it if you are an anime watcher like me. So we're gonna build this in Next.js. Let's create an app. First, go to the Next.js documentation. And as you can see here at installation, it will show you how to install things. Now, I've already put it up at the right in my terminal here, so let me make this bigger. And when you do the command, so npx create next app, and then you mention the name of your app, it's going to ask you a few questions. And here, for example, everything is just enter, enter, enter. I didn't do the last enter, so I can show you guys how this actually works. But if I say enter, then it will start installing the Next.js app. It will install the latest version of Next.js, which is version number 14. It is very important to know that because Next.js, different versions have a different way of structuring their folders. Now, you might know that Next.js is really convenient when it comes to working client-side and server-side. It means that one of the features, you can have your own API routes in the app. Now, if you work with the latest version, we have a so-called app router structure. If you work with previous Next.js versions, you work with a pages router. So when you look at the documentation of Next.js, so here look at the screen, you have to be really certain that you are looking at the documentation regarding the app router for this app, okay? You will automatically be installing the latest version when you say npx create next app. The name of your app, the latest version is number 14. So be aware of that, because when you're debugging, then don't use methods that are actually applicable to the older versions of Next.js. Now, I hope in the meantime, hey, my app spun up. So here I'm gonna go to it, YouTube Anime Panda. I'm gonna open up the code, and of course I'm gonna say npm run dev. And this is also what I want to show you guys, is that in order to run the latest Next.js version, in my case I have to upgrade my node version. Okay, so make sure you have the right node version. So in my case 17.0. all right, and then I can run it. Ooh, I'm so excited about this build. Let's go. So I made it a little bit bigger. Now this is the official app. Let's see where my other app runs. It runs on 3001, obviously. Hey, there it is. So let's immediately start coding, guys. I hope you're excited. Yeah, let's just get going. So what I just said about Next.js version 14, the newest, is that it will have an app folder. And in the app folder is where you will have your app. Now, Next.js works with a layout.js and a page.js. Now, what does that mean? Well, actually, very simply, the layout is a parent and the page is a child. So if you, for example, go to different sides of an app, but you want the header or something else to stay always the same, or a sidebar, you can have that at layout. And if you want the content to change, you could have that on page. Now this app is a little bit too small to do that kind of stuff. It's just one static page, or here we're not going to do that, but that is just how that would be used, okay? So here, home, let's make this app, and let's remove everything inside of here. Oh, it's quite a lot. All right. Oh, yeah, it doesn't like it because it's empty, so that is okay. So you just have to put a div class name here, and let's start off with the anime app itself. Then it doesn't bother us anymore. So let's go into the code. And start at the start. Well, like I was talking before, NextJS works with a client side and with a server side. Now, just very simply said, the client side is the front end and the browser, and the server side is everything that happens behind the scene in your app. It's where you fetch data, it's where complex processes will follow, etc., etc. So what we're going to do in this app, because we're going to run this mainly in the front end, it's going to work there. We're going to say at the top, we're going to say use client. Now, of course, we're going to have to use useState at some point and useEffects. So I'm already going to import those. And here, now let's just section this up. Let's just start at the start. Oh, I'm always excited when I see this, guys, by the way, because I love anime. So here at this section here at the top, we have the upcoming anime, the upcoming one. And then here below, we have a section called currently airing. And then we have a section popular, okay? And then as last part, we still have a genres list. Now, let's go here. What we're going to do, I have split this app into two columns, so to say, in two areas, and that is this area on the left side, and it's an area on the right side. Okay, so I call this section media section, and this is a list section. So remember that when we start diving into the code. Let's go here, anime app, and let's just start. Also, first, by the way, by setting the variables, because like I said, we have certain sections where we want to show anime, right? By the way, anime is probably you know it because you're watching this video, but just for the people that don't know it and just really thought it was cool to build, an anime is a short series, usually about 12 episodes or 24 or 10 years long. You also have those, but usually that's the case, and every episode is about 20 minutes long. And then often they have different genres, hero stories, romantic stories, etc. And anime is series, but also a series. So it's multiple and plural and singular noun. How to say verb? You guys know what I mean. So set upcoming anime. So that's why you don't see me writing animes. Okay, this is already plural. Can already be plural. So useState. So we have the upcoming anime. We have the airing one, the currently airing one. Okay, the currently airing one. And we have the popular anime. Set popular anime. Like this. So we have the app here, and like we see here in this, if I make this smaller, you can see it better maybe, it is a container in the middle here. So we have the main app and the app, we have the app here. This is the main app. Then we have the container in the middle, and then we have the header. We have the content here, and from the content we split it into media on the left side and lists on the right side. And all on these sides you will also have a little bit of padding, 15 pixels, so you'll see that. And of course some of these are, this is a grid, I believe. This is a grid, and also like this. Yeah, so let's get going. Div class name, going to section this up. Div class name container, obviously, and inside of the container we have the header. So I'm going to say here, I'm going to say header. And then below the header is where we have the content section. So content. And the content section is divided up into a media section. So we know it's that. So we can say here, we can say media, media. And we have a list section. Of course you can call it anything you want. You can also say left or right, but yeah, list section. Every section, as you will see, will have a media header. So this is called a media header. And it will have sometimes a media title, and in this case it will also have a little tabs. Now let's first start off with making the body, I would say the main. Okay, so let's open up, and I made everything, just remove all of this in the global.css. If you want to see or know why I switch so fast between files, I do Command P, and then I can just go to files really quickly, like this page, and then it will give me, I like it. I don't know if you knew it, but that's okay. So here, global.css. Oh, for this one, we're also going to import some Google font. So I have, the one I wanted to have was the Legan Spartan one, and the Mukta one. It's really easy. I'll show you guys later how to import this, but let's first start here. This is always a template, margin 0, padding 0. And for the body, we have a sort of darkish, blackish background color, which is 0D, 0A, 0B. This is, is correct. Now that I have also some H2 font, because that's the one that I use the most in this app, so and as you can see, I am using the League Spartan sans serif here. So how do you use this? Well, if you go to Google Fonts here, let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys, like this. Then let's say I really like Poppins, okay? Or yeah, Poppins. I click on this, and then I pick one that I really like. I like the thin one actually, but sometimes I also like it bold. So let's say extra bold, and here click on the right top here, get font, and then it shows you all kinds of articles. It's really cool. And then say get embedded code, and this is also where you can see what the style is or how it's usually used. And what you do here is say add import, and make sure you're on the web tab. Okay, make sure you're here, and then add import. And guess what? You don't need this style. That's if you want to use it in HTML, CSS. In HTML, but you're just gonna copy this. Okay? And then you're gonna paste it in here. That's how you do it. Easy peasy. Now, let's continue here. Oh, we have a header and everything here. Now let me make the letters also white, so color white, so we can see what's happening. And because, now let me show you this a little bit if it's visible. Let's make this dark blue. And display flex obviously is coming up now. And you could say height VH as big as the screen. And let's make a container class and say background color. It's not going to stay this way, guys, obviously, but this is just to show you how you can make things also easier for yourself and how you can work with things. And the container is going to have a max width, by the way, so that way the content, it doesn't grow bigger than this. Of course you don't see it because the content is not bigger than 1025 pixel, and it's going to have a padding of 50 pixels like I said before. Now you might be thinking, why are you not putting it yet in the center? Yes, that's what I'm about to do now. So good question. Justify content center. This is what we want. Okay, this is what you want. This color is a little bit bright. Maybe this. Yes, all right. Now, when we have all of this, let's start with the content here. Okay, and let's divide that up. And the content, obviously, it's also justify content. Oh. Yeah, and media and list. And this is also, okay, let me show you now what I actually wanted to show you. So I'm going to remove this. Oh, this doesn't like it. Yeah, I'm working on it. Media. Inside the content section, there's of course media. And those are the letters. And what do we think for color for media? Orange. Yay. And then we have the list section. Lists, by the way, because we have different types of lists. A popular, background color, and maybe something like teal. Okay. So you can see that we are defining things up. Now, if we give the content now a color, we can see it really clearly. And let's give it a dark color so we can see it. But it is overshadowed. Oh shit. Oh, whoops, sorry. Background color. Content. It's now, obviously, it is black, the content, but if I would remove this, it would show up. Yeah. But this is what I want to show you guys. I want to have a padding of 15 pixel, and look what happens. Now, this content is now, there's no height to it, so if I say justify content center, you don't see any effect. But this will make it in the middle. Okay, so background section, content, and by the way, content doesn't have a padding of 15%, 15 pixel. It is a gap of 15 pixels. So this is actually how it is supposed to be. Yes. Now, that's what I want to show you guys. Let's work on the header. Okay, so let's start making this one more in the color it's supposed to be. This one, we can leave this out. And let's start making the header. I could make the header here for simplicity, but I think I'm going to make another folder called components. And then here I'm going to say header.js RFCE. This is a trick. And then boom, you get a functional component of a header. Let's say, for example, hello header. Then we know that this component is really important. So here, import header from components / header. All right, and then what we do is we say, we can copy that by the way, header is above content as we said before. And hey, hello header, awesome. So let's work in the header, and the header has its own CSS file. So this is just to show you guys that, you know, you can have your CSS file closer to your components, or you can have the global one where you just do a lot more stuff in. So yeah, it's just making your app simpler, if that's what you want. Now, for the header, obviously, we start off with a class of header. And what we say here is we say header. Let's give it a background color, okay? You guys must be thinking, oh my god, she loves background colors, which is true, okay? Look at how many cool colors there are. And let's make this a bit darker, like this. And also inside of the header, we're not only going to have, oh yeah, by the way, why doesn't it work? Because the header.css needs to be imported. Okay, so you take this because you are in the same file as components, so you only have to do / and then header.css. Okay, boom. Also, and you have to save it. Now, inside of the header, we have a few things that we want to show, and that is the image. And let me grab the image already. It's just a cute image. You can get the image from anywhere. The only thing that you wanna keep in mind is that it's gonna be in the public folder. Okay, so here I have the logo, and hey, there it is, and it has a transparent background. That's just the easiest way to work with things. So here, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to image, because I know that I want to have an image there. I'm gonna say /images/logo.png. Alt is logo. Now, now the reason, oh, there it is. The reason I can just do this /images is because images is a folder within the public folder. So that's why you are just able to do that like that. Now here, images, and I'm gonna have a menu. And the menu is just going to be really simple, just something static. Okay, first home, obviously. It's just going to be these few words: home, anime list, new season, movies popular. Maybe I can even just be lazy and to do this. Yeah, I can. Oh, and then let me see if I can do a trick. Oh, to do this faster, so I would hold Option in and Option Shift, and then I would say H2, oh, 2, and I would skip a little bit, get that, and then paste it in. And now I got home twice, but that's okay, still less work. Now, we have all of those here on the left side, as you can see. And then we want to still make something else. Div class name, because what is a header without a search container? And for the search container, for now, we're just going to say search. But for that, we're going to implement an icon. So search, you can say search icon that is about to be implemented. So we have this now on the left side. So it's starting to become a little bit bigger. So let's do the styling. Now, what you want to do, of course, obviously, let's make the image smaller. Okay, so header image width 200 pixel, and you'll see that it's a little bit in the middle, and that's because actually with this image here, with this image, there's a lot of space on the left side, and that's just because this image was just generated this big. So a trick to move the panda to the left, it's lazy bum. What you can do is margin left, and you can give it a negative amount of pixel, and oh, it moved to the left and it became smaller. So now it's getting more into the position where we want it to be. All right, so then we have, for example, the menu, and let's also give that a background color of blue. Yeah, that would make it very blue. And of course this one, it should not stay vertical, it should be at some point be horizontal. But let's work on the header first. So let's say here, display flex. All right, align items. What do you guys think? Center, because that way, see, it lines up horizontally, but over the horizontal axis, if I say it correctly in English. That's why I use the colors to show you guys how it really works behind the scenes, because often with a build you just code, but then you don't really know what's going on, or you don't really see it literally. But now you do. So now you also know how it works. Justify content. We want here to have a little bit more space, so we say space between. And I think in the global CSS, let me check this for a little bit, because we have the anime app. Let me check this background color. Container, I think in the container, justify content center, content, justify content center. All right. Now here at the header CS, I just want to check if I had things all right. So here, what we're gonna do is with the menu, obviously, now you see this, I think this is what I was looking for. Flex. Yeah, this is why it has to get bigger, obviously. So flex, and because as you can see for the words here, I don't know if you can see them really well, so let me make this black to show you, but there's not a lot of space in between. So let's say I give this a space of 150 pixel, you will see the words move, but this is a little bit too much, right? So we're just gonna need something like 15. Oh, that is starting to look like something. All right, and let's continue. Also, the first of the menu, I want that to be a specific color, and you're going to be using this color throughout this app because it's that blue color that you can find everywhere. So hash 3D52D5. By the way, guys, if you want to know how to use this app or this kind of functionality where you also can change the color, you can just do this, and then you can change the color, like this, boop. You can click on it, and boom, you save it, and then it is this color. Okay, look here, now it's green. But we don't want that for now, but this is an extension, and it's called Color Highlights. Okay, so you can download that. But I want my previous color back, like this, the light blue one. Now, we have this. Let's check everything from the top. We also want the header to have a margin top because it's a little bit, well, it's not very close to the top, actually, it's okay, but it will be pushed later, like this, okay? And obviously we don't want it to have this color anymore at some point. And let's also see what's really going on. So it's always good from time to time to check, this header, it's really white. And why is it so white, tall? And why is that? Because I have to give it a fixed height. So I'm going to say height 65 pixel. Hey, that's starting to look more like something. All right. And of course, now we also still need to look at the search container. Okay, so the search container, let's work on that one. Search container. And let's give that a funky color. Something like dark orange or orange red. It's very visible. Search, boom. And this one has a minimal height of 30 pixel. And it has a minimal width of 275 pixels. So this will also make the app bigger, and it will just stretch with it because now it is responsive. So that said, it's gonna have a border and it's gonna look ugly with this color, but that's okay for now. I can live with that. And display, obviously display flex, but since it's so big, so let me show you with a smaller, let me make this into a paragraph. Yeah. Now it's really small, display flex, and now I'm gonna say align items center. Wait, no. I'm gonna say justify content. I'm gonna say flex end. So boom, the word will be at the end because here, as we can see, the search icon is at the end. Now, what we also want is we don't want it to be, I think it's a little bit too much at the top, but let's see. Also, we know that it has a border radius of 4 pixel. Now, this orange red is a little bit too bright for me. So I'm going to change this into 101010. And that's starting more to look like something. Now, let's talk about this search icon, okay? One of the icon libraries I usually use is Material UI. And you can look it up if you Google this, if you say Material UI icons, it will take you here, it will take you to MUI.com. And then you have to go to material icons, okay? And then here you can search for an icon, search, and then you can obviously pick whatever you like. We picked this one, I picked this one, and it says to me that if I want to use it, I need to import this one at the top. You can use different sizes, etc., etc. And this icon is a so-called SVG icon, which means you can change the styling and the color, etc., and the size. So we're going to use this import, but in order to use this, we obviously have to import this library. So in order to find out how to do that is you go here at the top, you say getting started. Oh, maybe make this a little bit bigger. Installation here. And you can install, you can just copy this, but the other ones you're not needing that, but usually sometimes you need that, but now we don't. So just copy paste the first piece, go to your terminal, then close it off and say npm install, or just copy paste it up, obviously. Boom. And that will take a while. All right, npm run dev, and then we can go again. So make sure that you, by the way, stop the whole app when you download or install npm or modules like this, because your app doesn't really like it if you do that while it's still running. It gives you a few problems usually. Now, what you're gonna do is you import it. So here at the top, you have that import, if correctly. And what we can do now, we can use it sort of like a component. So you're just gonna use this. Boom. Hey. And now, correctly, if I refresh this, hey, there we have it. But as you can see, it does look a little bit like, I'm gonna remove this. It does look a little bit like it's at the top. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna add a align item center. So it's a little bit more in the middle. Yes, that looks better. You see, that looks a lot better. Now, as you can see, we also need a margin right or left. Doesn't really matter from which side. We could say margin left 15 pixel. So it never touches the menu on the left side. And that's the header, guys. So let's continue to back to page again. You can close off header.css. Now, let's change things up. Now that we're in the content, we have a media section, and the media section will have a, let me see. Okay, the media section is divided into two areas, the upcoming and the currently airing. Okay, so let's start with building the upcoming part. Yeah, let's start building the upcoming part. So the upcoming part is actually the first one in the media section. And what I would do here is I would make a media header. That is the blue header. So DAF class name media header. And this media header obviously contains a media title. Now, this one also has an images, and in this case it is the Naruto PNG, because who doesn't know Naruto? And we're gonna say upcoming. Hey, there he is. So this media header is a little bit different from the rest. This one also has pagination in there, or the tabs I was earlier talking about. Once we have the media header done, like if you close this off, media header, then here we're going to have a grid. Okay, and this one is called episodes, or you could say anime, maybe episodes or anime grid upcoming. So be sure that there's no dash here. Okay, there's no dash here. That is very important. So here I'm going to say anime grid for upcoming anime. Better said like this, actually, more clear. Now, what we're going to have after that is another media header. So also that's why I think I always want to copy this one, media header. And this media header doesn't have it does have an image, but it doesn't have upcoming, it has currently airing. And this is not Naruto, but his best friend and rival, Sasuke. And here there's no pagination, so, oh, there he is. Looks kind of angry, yeah. So then, let's first build this media area. Okay, so just go to your global CSS. It's also easy if you do a split screen and you just follow what I do. So here, what you're going to do is you're going to, let me check it for you, because I wanna, yes. So what we know about the media section, by the way, and this is kind of funny, this is also why I divided it up. What I know about the media section is that it's a flex of 0.7. So what I like to do is, for the bigger layouts, I often use flex. And then for more detailed things, I use very often grid, because then I have a little bit more control. But for the bigger things, to make it more responsive, I often use CSS Flexbox. So here I say flex 0.7, and remember that's 15 pixel gap here is here. And here that list, I'm gonna make that a flex. Guess what I'm gonna make that? Well, it's gonna size it up anyway. It's 3. 0.3, and that makes 1 in total. And as you can see, it lines up perfectly like this. Now it's only the media section is so big because of the images. Okay, so in the media section, what we first want to do, we want to make sure that it's a display flex. And now it's going to be a bit strange, but we want to make sure that they stay below each other. Okay, and then now I'm going to go more into the details of the media section. So media header, background color, and let me first do this. The media title is actually where the image is. So let me make that image smaller, okay, because it's a little bit outrageous. Now 40 pixel, because otherwise then you guys can see the media. So okay, that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Width 40 pixel. The height is a little bit bigger because these guys are not square. And margin right 10 pixel, margin left 4 pixel, and you see that the images, they stretched out a little bit. But so if you want to keep the margins, how to say the ratio of your picture, then you say object fit contain. So it will take how you are supposed to be in a picture. It won't stretch you out. It will make sure that you are perfectly aligned like this. So then what you're going to do is we're going to build the media header. Do we have this one? Okay. And the media header has a background color of, again, the blue color 352D5. Oh. A. And this media header, the media section is still orange. Okay. But what I could do to show you guys is, no, I'm gonna leave it this way for now. Let's just keep continuing with the media header. Height 50 pixel, and in the case of Naruto, the H2 currently left the building. Okay, let's find it back. Display flex, align items center. Hey, and at the center, justify. Oh, what we can do, by the way, here the media section, to make this more visible, we can say a gap of 15 pixel. It's a little bit much, maybe 0. Yeah, see, now it's better. Now we can see things better. It's also because here at the Sasuke we don't have anything here. This is gonna be an anime grid, and it's gonna be called airing. Okay, and then there's gonna be this grid for currently airing anime. All right. Now, oh, see, now it's a little bit. Now header with content, etc. Now this is what I was aiming for. Now it looks a little bit easier for you guys to understand as well. So let's continue. Align items. Media section, media header. And I'm wondering why. I know why it doesn't work. Why do you think it's not the image and lining up? Because I've done it in the media section. I said do everything vertically. The media section, the parent. Then in the media header, I still say display flex. But there's also another div inside of that, and that's the media title. And that's also where the image and the title are, and that's actually why the titles are not aligning up. So sometimes you have to search a little bit deeper, you have to go a little bit further, like this. Now we still want certain things with the media header, because as you can see here, there is a little border at the top here, and there's a border radius here, and then it connects with the rest of the app. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to build that, because it gives that clean look. Okay, so now we have this. Let's go back, media header, align items, justify content, space between, and also a lot of border things. So let me paste it in and just explain it to you guys, because border top 1 pixel solid to the right and to the left, so that's the media header. And you got to give it a radius, but only at the corners. Okay, because if you give it also, if you only say border radius, it's gonna give corners everywhere. Okay, so if I would remove this and I would say border radius, and to exaggerate, I would do this, it would corner the whole thing. Okay, so that's not what we want. We only want certain specific corners to round off. These are the media headers, so that looks pretty good. Media section is also done, so let's go to the media title. That's also done, and we have the image. And in the case of the first section, the one with Naruto, we also have a pagination coming up. Well, that is not really difficult or something, at least I don't think so. We can do, but you can do it different ways. You can say div class name is pagination, and what you could do is h2 and then say 1, and then iterate over that 2, etc, etc, 3, you know, like this. But I thought I will sometimes have here and there some tricks for you guys. So what you can do, and what sometimes really helps to make it really obvious and simple, 1. So I'm having here, I'm opening up with curly braces because I'm going to use a function here. So an array, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to map over that. So it's going to literally map over these numbers. I'm going to say num. I'm going to open up like a function and a return, and then say h2, and you have to give it a key because it's iterating over things, and then say num. And it's just a cool little trick you can use sometimes. And oh, it is here on the left side, as you can see, but it is stacked up vertically, and that's not what we want. So here what we're going to say is we're going to say pagination, and of course obviously display flex. And the pagination also has a min width, because you want them always to have a certain width. So min width 120 pixels, so that gives them a little bit of air, but now you don't see it. So let me also give this a weird color so you can see what's happening in background. Okay, not orange, we had a little bit enough of orange, I think. Purple. Okay, purple, but min width of 120 pixel. Now what we're going to do, and to keep it responsive also, this way, I'm going to say space around. So at all times, the min width is 120 pixel, and there's always space around the items within that div. So in this case, the pagination div class, and then the numbers inside of that. So this is how, no matter how the app moves, this will always stay the same and have space between the numbers. Align items, center, it's so small, you might not see it, but it's good. Margin right 5 pixel, just to have a little bit spacing there. I'm gonna remove this here, and what I'm going to do is I want to have the feeling that we're on the first page. So I'm going to say pagination h2, because inside of the div pagination there are different numbers. These are all h2, but the first of those numbers, so here I say first child, I'm going to give that a background color of white, but then I don't see the number anymore, so I have to give it a color of black. And you see it very tiny here, you see it? But let's make that a little bit nicer. So width 20 pixel, height also 20 pixel, border radius 3 pixel. Let's see if something changes. Yes, and now of course display flex, align items center, justify content center. So let me show you first what happens with the align items. See if you guys, horizontal, vertical, going into the center. Hey, over the horizontal that's how you call that, axis. And here it should go into, yeah, vertical axis. It goes more into the middle, from left to right. So align items is from top to bottom. Okay, top to bottom. It's the direction it moves in. Oh, okay, it doesn't do that. And justify content center is from left to right. So that's how you can remember that. Now let's go to the grid for the upcoming anime. Okay, so first let's just build the JXS. So for this, what I wanted to do is I wanted to build a so-called upcoming card. So an upcoming card that looks like this. Let's zoom in on this. And so the upcoming card is like this, and then it has an image obviously, and then it has a little title. Okay, so here if you say no, wait, we have to actually make a component. So like here, I just want to go here to components. I'm going to make a file and say upcoming card.js, and I also have a upcoming card.css. Now the upcoming card.js here on the left side, and the upcoming card.css on the right side. Now this card will show, by the way, we'll get a prop at some point, but let's just first build this card. Okay, so you're going to say RFCE upcoming card, and the upcoming card is going to have an episode at some point, so as a prop. But let's first build this one here. So div class name is media card, and then it has an image, and then it has a source. Okay, it will have a source at some point. Alt is card. Oh, close it off like this. Okay, let me make this a little bit more like this. Now it has an image, then it has, at some point it has a title. Title. And it has also an anime name or title. Now more like an episode of an anime. I would say an anime. Okay, so we're gonna change those in a moment. But here for the upcoming part, what you first want to do is, I'm wondering if this is, oh, what we first want to do is, let's comment this one out first, and let's say, ooh, let's say image here. Then you guys can, then I can show you guys. Div class name image. Now the upcoming card, as you can see, still needs to be imported, so that's why it's not visible. Okay, so here on page, what we're going to do is we're going to go to page.js, and you're going to say upcoming card, and it's gonna have an anime prop and like this. Okay, and at the top you're gonna say import upcoming card. Oh, Visual Studio Code did that by himself, and it's complaining because we haven't said that the prop of anime is going to be there. Oh, anime is not defined, and that is true. So here we just say, for now, we say anime as a string. All right. Oh, now that's something. That is something. So in the upcoming card, we have the image, and let's finish this up later. Okay, let's just first now talk about, okay, now that we have upcoming cards, this is just one upcoming card, and you have many here at some point. Okay, and all of these need to be styled, of course. And what we do is we should turn that into a grid. So let's go first and start at the start. I should have started here, actually, maybe. So here, let's go here and say anime grid, upcoming grid, only grid, not upcoming. And this is how you make a grid. Okay, so we say first display flex, and by the way, this orange, isn't it a little bit, let's make it darker. Push. Oops, sorry. Let's start removing it. Yes. And for the upcoming card, let's do the media card. A bit of a slate blue, and here I'm going to import in upcoming .js. I'm going to import the upcoming card CSS, so that way I can show you guys a little bit better how this works out. There we go, with building a display for a grid in this case. So go back to your anime grid, and it's anime grid. So here in the class name, you see anime grid upcoming, but as you can see, it is not connected. Okay, so here display flex, no, by the way, that's not true. Display grid, sorry about that. Oh, and we're gonna say grid gap 10 pixel, like this, and overflow hidden, so it doesn't overflow. Margin bottom 10px, but also in between in the tiles cards itself 10px, and we're going to have a border right, which is this 1 pixel solid AI like this. Ooh, yeah. So this is gonna be for the left side and for the bottom side, and that is exactly how you get that clean look. Okay, all right. I think also with the header, I did a margin bottom. What is that thing coming from? I don't think it's supposed to be there. Media section, I put a gap, but that was just to show you guys, but I don't want that because I want it to be connected like here. All right. Okay, I hope you guys understand this when you see this. This is a way to explain it to you guys. So that is about the grid. Now, when it comes to the upcoming section here, things are a little bit different because as you can see, everything now is as a card. Card would just be here. The image would start here, the title would be here, and the anime would here. But as you can see here in NextJS, the image is here, and then the title is here, and overall it moves in this direction. Okay. If you look at the other ones here, these are totally different, but this is also a grid. So these are different because these are different. So how can I use one grid for both sections, even though they have different rows and columns, etc.? And this is how you do that. So you have one anime grid, and then here you have a section, very specific. You say anime grid upcoming, and in the case of upcoming, let me show you in the app here. In the case of upcoming, and you're gonna dot here, so it knows that is that class. You're gonna say grid template columns repeat, not repeat, repeat for one fraction. So what does repeat mean? Repeat means that always in this grid it will divide the columns up in 4 pieces. So if there's content coming, it will fill this row up with 4 pieces, and then it will go into the next line. Now also all of these pieces are as equal to each other in size because it says 1 fraction. So 1 fraction, multiply that for 4 times, and that has to be even spread over the columns of this grid. That is how you read that. So that said, that is how you do that. Now let's go to anime card, and let's style it upcoming card. The upcoming card, we have the image title here, so let's now do this, upcoming CSS. And of course we don't want it to look like this, so you have to imagine that this is an image. For now we don't have the image but so we don't have the image, so let's say image background color purple, this, so it's very visible for you guys. And then obviously we have title, which is the same as the anime, I think, to be honest, but let's check that out. So media card, that we're gonna work on this one. Let's play flex. Ooh, that's not what we want. We want it to be in column, but we need to do that like this because they're more. Plus position relative. Why this is, then there should also be a position absolute. I don't think this is correct, but we have a height of 280 pixel. Oh, and the height of this is 200, but the image, we always want that to be a fixed height as well. So it doesn't know that yet, but we always want that to be 230 pixel. And yeah, so let's continue for now. And we want the image always, wait, there's a, we can do this. Instead of this, remove this. image, class name image, source. And this one actually is height 200 pixel. So that is the height of this. But the image itself, if it comes in, we want this to be object fit, and we want it to cover that purple area. Okay, we want it to cover that purple area. And that's exactly what's going to happen when we are retrieving the images. So here, title, font family, this is where we can just use Mukta, and we can just say sans serif like this. Height, fit content, color, and this is a bit of a bluish color, but a little bit lighter, because otherwise it's really hard to read if it's small. 5E70E0, and font size 8 pixel, text align, center, and margin 10px. So you can hardly see it against the really dark background, but it's blue background, but it's here. Look, title. Let's continue, because to be honest, I don't think we do anything with anime. So instead of this, I want to have this like anime, like this, because it is the name of the anime. Yes. All right. So I think it's time to get the cards. So let's go here. Let's remove the purple. And we're going to see that coming up. So what I want to do now is I'm thinking what's best to do now. What I can do is, in our app here, we have 2 rows of 4 upcoming cards. Here we also have a few. So let's do this. Let's first make the media left and right section. So here I'm just going to iterate over this, do 3. So it's not going to stay like this forever. Obviously, it also looks a lot bigger, the media card. I find it a little bit too big. I find 230 even better like this. So I changed that. Now let's do the currently airing section, because the currently airing section is just exactly the same. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna say div class name is anime grid airing. Obviously, sorry, we already have that. No, sorry, airing card. I'm so sorry, guys. It's been a long day. So how many do we have? I think, for example, a few of these is okay. And then what we're gonna say is the same actually as the one at the top. It's just anime, but for now it's just gonna be a string, anime. And what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna paste this. I'm gonna, and then at the top it's double, because I didn't think of that. All right. So here, and now it's going to complain because I haven't made a array card component yet. So array card.js and the array card.css. All right. So array card on the left, make it like this, and here array card CSS. All right. So this one, for the airing card, there is a lot of information that we're going to be getting from the API. So for now, what I just want to do is I just want to make the card in itself. So class name is card. And also at the page, by the way, at the top, let's import the airing card. Okay, so let's say here airing card, airing card. Woohoo! Airing card, adding card. Yes, so we are here. It is hello airing card. Okay. So in the airing card, we have an image which we're going to get, and we have, so let's say image, let's do this, image class name. You can give it a class name, card image, source, this for now, and alt is airing, like this, and a div class called card details, and that's inside the card, so card details, and inside of there we're going to have a card title, which is anime title, which we're going to change, and then we're going to have a few properties that we want to know about those anime actually. And so what we're going to do here, I'm going to say this. Oh, that doesn't look nice. I thought I was going to be smart about this. Well, okay, then I'm just going to type it out. Genres, episodes, score, and favorites. Now, when you watch an anime, you at some point you become so good at spotting a good animation. That's just, it's kind of ridiculous. But of course, you look at the properties. So here we have all of those things now here. Okay, so let's just leave for that now, and let's just make the airing card, the CSS of it. So let's go this. Boom. Now, with the airing card, cards, we're going to give it a max height. Okay, so I cannot get any bigger than that. So background color, let's give this a teal color because that's easier to read, or make it dark like this, dark orchid. And of course, obviously you need to import it at the top. That's CSS, like that. All right, and as you can see, it already knows because it's a grid, right? So it already knows what and how it will look like. Now the card, the titles, etc., it doesn't fit in there. So we're gonna make sure of it that it will. So align items is flex start, margin bottom is 10px, and the color is white, but that was already the case. Now we're gonna have a little bit more spacing here. Card, at some point we're gonna have a real image, but for now we don't. So card image, and I do already want to set the width, so 65, height is 100%, and of course object fit is cover. Okay, this doesn't have any spec because we don't have the image yet, but let's go to card details and display flags. Now a lot of things are going to change now. Oh wait, no, and that's also because of this. If we go to global.css and we copy this anime grid upcoming, because now everything, it is a little bit different for the, because here we only have 2 columns. So instead of 4, we say here we say to. And not upcoming, we say here, you guessed it right, airing. Hey, there we go. You see that? Now, airing card, display facts. We go here. Now, display flex. Flex direction column. And also TMPX. I know what, let me see. I'm wondering how come the image is actually not next to things, but that is because of this. I'm missing a display flex here. Hey, now we're talking. Display flex, align items, flex start, margin bottom, etc. Card details, display flex, gap. And now we're going to make this a little bit nicer. So we're going to say margin, card details, left 10 pixels, font family, Mukta, sans serif, and color. And this one is a little bit bluish, but it's still bluish, but it's a lot lighter, but so you can still read everything properly, but it does have that same hue as the overall app. Oh, it's starting to look like something now, doesn't it? So let's make this a little bit darker so you guys can see it better. Hey. Now, then we have card title, H3, and that one is blue because it's the title that will be presented of the anime, and it's a bit bolder, so a little bit of font weight there. Boom. Hey, oh. And we're gonna have just the normal card title, and that one's gonna be the color of white, which it already was. So I think this is kind of redundant, to be honest. Now, that's it. We want to have the images, obviously. The images. Now, to get the images, we have to start calling an API. And let me show you something about the API of Jikan Moe. So you're going to go to Jikan Moe, and they have a new version coming out, or it's already here. It's the V4, and that's this one. So I made it really big for you guys. So it's a pretty clear API documentation. You can first read the information here and how they treat things and do things. And that's always very important with an API. I experienced it myself. And one of the things that you want to look out for with this API is that per 1 second you can only do 3 requests. Now, in our case, we're going to be asking for the upcoming anime, the popular ones, and the currently airing one. When we do that API call, it's going to be boom, within 1 second. So a few things are going to happen here that we do not want. So how do you deal with this in a NextJS app? Now, this is where it's going to get fun, because this is where things also get more complicated. So I hope you stay and keep watching this. Let's first talk about the API. Okay, so here the documentation, there's anime here, and then you have here all kind of GET requests, all kind of URLs you can use for your GET request. Okay, so I wanted to have, for example, the top anime, get the top anime for the upcoming and the currently airing one and all of that. And so here, the latest anime and the top anime, the best ones, I could use a filter for airing, for upcoming, and by popularity. So that's what we are gonna be using. And so that URL, you can also test it, of course, in Postman. So we're about to do that. So here you can test it, And this is then the API call that we're going to be making. But let's first just start simple and get this. Okay, so I'm going to close the airing card, the upcoming part, for now, because otherwise it's a lot of tabs here. Whoop. And what I want to do now here is we are going to create the API call. Now, so what we're going to do, every time you spin up the app, you want all of these API calls to be made. But like I just said, we have to deal with a rate limit that we cannot exceed by Jikan Moe API. So here we're going to say use effect, and you're going to have an empty array here, so it only runs one time when you spin up the app. And then you're going to say const staggered request. Okay, and that means like you have stagnation in between a few seconds, a few milliseconds in this case. And here you're going to say category delay. It's going to give it an arrow. You're going to give it a set timeout. And the set timeout basically says, hey, every time you call this function, I'm going to give this many seconds in between before I call the next function. And so this is set timeout get anime. And we're going to write that. We're going to write that function in a moment. So otherwise, let me const get anime is console.log getting anime. And here to set time now, I'm going to say get anime, and the anime takes in the category. And then here you're going to say the delay. So here it is a category. The category is what we're going to use for the fetch call, for the API call. So that's what's going to happen in get anime. So this is just the definition of staggered request. So make sure you are outside of it, and then you're going to say staggered request upcoming 0, because it's the first call that you want to make. And then you're also going to do that for the other two. You're going to say you're going to say airing, and here you're going to say by popularity. This one you're going to say 500 and this 600, so that in 1 second 2 calls can take place, but the third call will always be 600 milliseconds after, which is 1 second and 100 milliseconds over. So that doesn't fit into the rate limit exceeding the rate limit. Now, what we do now is we're going to make the API call. So here in get anime, what we want to do is we want to say try, and then get a response, and then we're going to make a fetch call, API/anime/ method get request headers content string content type string application /JSON string quote, and here, and then we're going to say if response is not okay, then throw a new error and say failed to fetch anime category. And then you will obviously want to know which category that is. Oh, the rocket then suddenly starts up. Category status response.status. So you know which number will come back. Okay, it starts complaining. I think I missed something else here. Await isn't allowed in a non-sync function. That is true. So here async, gotta make and expecting a semicolon. That's true. I wasn't done yet. So that is true. So here you're gonna say catch, because it's expecting that as well, I think, because we turned this into a try error, and console error message. Ooh. Error dot message. So I'm missing something here, so let's try it. So try this. If this one is okay, then throw error. Am I having too much? No. Wait, no, this is. Osh. Okay, wait, I'm having too many. Let's start at the start. Async category here. Try method. Na. This is good. I think I'm missing something here. And then after that, it's yeah, I have too much at the end, I think. After if response is okay, catch. Why don't you like this? Oh wait, here. No, this is not correct. Heh. Try this. Yeah. Oh, so sorry, getting late, guys. So here, get anime, try this. If that doesn't work out, there's going to be an error, and then catch the error. Okay, I like to use emojis so my messages are more clear and easy to get it. Now, you might be wondering, what is this API/anime/category? This is where NextJS comes in, okay? This is where NextJS comes in. So what we can do here is below, inside of app, we're going to make a folder called API. And this folder is going to be you got that right, your own API route. So here we have anime. And this is the cool part, guys. This is the cool part, okay? So you can do this. You can say folder, and then you can say category. And so in Next.js, how it works now with API routing is that you have your own API route, so API/anime/something. It could be upcoming. Then it would be this folder category with the brackets would be called upcoming, and then it would have a file called route.js. Now, if we would do that, that would also be a plausible strategy in this case, but then we would have to do that for an extra folder upcoming by popularity and an airing folder, and all of those three folders would have a file called route.js. Seems a little bit redundant if you can make that dynamic and then let Next know that, hey, actually that is a category folder, and those names, you can use those and then use the same route for all of those API calls. And that also means that we only have one server-side file that does the API call to the Jikan Moe API. this is the structure of Next.js when now we're going from client base, from client component to the server side, to the backend. And we couldn't do that in one app. So normally you would have to do that. You would go through your own server outside of, you would have to, set something up. And now we can just do it all here. The thing is though, when we do this, I can already tell you that we're gonna have a problem with the rate limit of Jikan Moe. But before we go deeper into that, let's make the route. And this is just going to be a simple API call. Okay, so this is just going to be a simple API call. You're going to say, export async function get. You have to use capital letters. And there's going to be a request in there, and the request is going to have properties of params. That's a given. I'll explain to you in a moment why we do it this way. And some of you might be asking, why are we not using a post request? Well, I'll tell you that also in a moment. So here you're going to get the category out of the params, and you can say console log category. For example, here, category, then we know that for sure. And what we can do now is we can say try again. We can say const API response, and now we can really make the real call to the Jikan Moe API. So what I do here, I use ticks, and these are double ticks, 4 ticks. And when I do that, this will be considered not a string unless you put a variable here. So that is a quick way. And also, if you take this URL, so I want you to take this URL, I want you to copy it, and then go to Postman, for example. And Postman is an API platform where you can test your GET requests, all kind of requests. So here, click on REST API Basics. Oh, come on, Postman. Really? Oh, he just needed some time. Here, what you can do is get data. I hope you guys can see it. This is really small. Get data. So click here. And so what you can do is you can paste in that URL of Jikan Moe v4 anime question filter, and now we have category. But let's test it out. Let's say something like upcoming. As you can see, authorization, we don't need that. We don't need it in this case. Headers, you don't need to. It does it already automatically. There's no body because we're doing a GET request, and that also means we're not sending anything to the GET request, because a body, you only use that with a POST request. With a GET request, you get data. Now, in order to get data, with POST, if you post something, you want to change something with the API. You want to write data in that database that you're asking the API for help for. But in GET not. But still, we wanted to get certain data regarding a certain specific category. So how did we do that? We solved that by using params. Okay, so here, get data, if I do send, here I get the result. I get the full anime list. I get the images. I get the titles, as you can see here. And it gives back a response of 200, which is okay. So if your API gives you back a stat of 200, you are good to go. So what we do here is, let's talk about that response, okay? So we can do this. This is the same code as before. So here, try, we can just do this, and we get data back. So let's just do this. And in our response, we're just gonna, when everything has gone well, we want to return something like this. And when we have tried the try, of course, if that doesn't work out, there needs to be a catch, and the catch will say something that we weren't able to fetch the data. Okay, so not this message, but like a message, yay, we got the anime. And this is, as you can see, JSON.stringify is inside of an object, and then later we can get the data out of this object. Okay, so that's it. That is for now. We should get some data. If we go back to our pages, we should, if we log console.log response, what is in response? So make it really visible for you guys. Now let's put up the console log and let's see what happens. Yeah, and let's make this also smaller so it still stays in check and you guys can see it. All right, so I'm gonna spin up the app again. Woo, getting anime, and we are getting a response back. Okay, we are getting a response back, which is amazing. Okay, which is really, really good. Now, what we're going to do now that we have the upcoming, and as you can see, we have upcoming here. Here, you see that? We have upcoming, we have airing, and we have by popularity. So that is the anime that we got. Now this is the response that we got back. Let's see if we can unfold this, get this out. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is, after this, I'm going to catch the data. So here I'm going to say const data. So remember, here we sent the data here in this object. So then in the front end, it will come out here. Oh, there's my arrow. Here. Okay, so like this. So just for your understanding, in case you didn't know, this is the client side and this is the server side. And you always notice, because here at server side we talk about route, and we are currently in the API, remember, where we have the dynamic routing, where we say API anime category route.js. We are currently there, and here on client side, well, this is just the browser, the front end, etc. So I hope this makes it really clear. Now this data at the front end, we want to use that, of course, so we can show that in our front end. So here, data, and we want this anime, this data, to be, we cannot put it in there like boom, let's do it. Okay, we have to format that a little bit. So here I have a function called update anime state category data. Okay, and then here we're going to write that function below. So const update, update, isn't it? Const update anime state category, and the anime, well, I would say it's a list that we're getting back of all the anime that are there, and then formatted, we can say switch category. And I could do this with an if else statement, like if category is this, do this to that, but I thought I'd switch it up, pun intended. So case upcoming, and here be very careful. You say here is actually no colon, and here also not, it is a colon here at the end. I kind of switch it up. So set upcoming anime with the anime, but I forgot to tell you, that the anime will have certain titles that are just too long sometimes. So here, formatted anime, format anime titles, and we're going to paste there in the anime list. Because here in the set upcoming, where we want to set the state for the upcoming, we only want really nice clean anime in there. So that's going to be the formatted anime. Okay, and we're even going to slice that because it's way too much what comes in. There are different ways how you can do this, but this is how we're going to do it here. So let me write for you the format anime titles functionality that takes in obviously the anime list. Okay, the anime list. Now, const updated anime list is anime list dot map anime 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 arrow and is long title is anime.title.split. So every time there's a space, remove it or count it, and that has to be bigger than 5. The new title, that is too long title. The new title is long title. Is it there? Is there a long title? Is it really long? Then we need to slice it a little bit shorter. But in case it is not actually so long, it's also no use to cut it even shorter. So, and then here, return, we're going to use a spread operator, which means anything inside of anime that is a property, we're going to take that out. So anime, new title, and I'm going to set new title as a property there. So return, obviously, the updated anime list. You can have this like const and then return it. You can also remove this and only say this, that you wouldn't need this return at the end, but I thought it would be descriptive to show you guys. All right, now that we have the formatted, let's finish up what happens with the next category. So first at the upcoming, we have, when it switches, you obviously have a break. Now, this also happens for airing, and it happens for by popularity. So here, airing, by popularity. And of course I need to change this. So here it is set up airing anime. Here it says set popular anime. And here also the numbers are a little bit different. Here it's 20 and here it is about 15. All right. Now that is this. Let's look at the airing cards and the upcoming cards. Okay, so let's first actually let's see if we get a response back. What is in response? What is in the data? So console.log data, or actually let's do it a little bit further just before it gets cleaned up. Let's say console.log formatted anime. What are the new clean anime? All right, so let's remove this one here because we don't need to know if our API call works. All right. Hey, we have a lot of clean anime here. Okay. Oh my God. Blue Lock is gonna come out. I love that show. It's a sports show, by the way. It's an anime. You should watch it. It's not only for the guys, it's also for the girls. It's about football though, but it is just so flippin' cool. It's one of my favorites. And of course this one, the Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Demon Slayer one. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Hey. Anyways, we are getting clean anime here. So what does that mean? That means we can put them into cards. Okay, we can say, so actually let's see if we get that for every category. I didn't check that, if all the categories are correct. I think so. Which category? So first we see a cherry blossom. Which category? Oh, sorry, I did not category. Yeah, upcoming, airing, bipolarity, and this goes well. So this goes well. We get all the images and things that we need to. So for the upcoming, how do we deal with this? This is very simple, and we have all of the things already ready. So let's first go to upcoming card, or how should I do this? Upcoming card. And the anime that we're getting, of course, we're going to pull some information from there. Okay, like for example, if we look at the upcoming, so can I make the console? Yes. Here. And then everyone here has a mail ID. It has a new title. It also has an image, so images, JPEG, image URL. And for example, if I take this one, or which one? The one that I really like. Let's see. You gotta make it things more fun, you know? Like this one, if we look at the images, JPEG, URL, and we copy this one, let's see if it really gives something back. Take out the quotes. Oh, it's very small, but it is something, and it's probably an announcement. That's why they don't want to spend too much on that. So let's see if we can find something else that's really fun. I don't know this. Kimetsu no Yaiba. Hope this is not a scary image. Oh wait, you can also go for large or small. Okay, that's maybe. Hey, this is pretty dope. This is pretty cool. With the hashira. So let's go. That is how you can check all of those things, guys. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna say page, and now that we know that the animes are set up properly, we don't have to say upcoming card all the time. We just can say, hey, go through the upcoming anime. If they are there, then map through each one of those and return an upcoming card, where you paste in the prop of the full anime. And of course you need to use the key, because otherwise your NextJS app doesn't really like that. And that's all we have to do. And then boom, it is done. Now it's not going to come out, as you can see here, because we have to set the properties here at the upcoming card. So let's do that. Here at upcoming card, we have the anime at the top, the media cards, and so we already saw that in the here, in the images, that we can say here, we can just say, by the way, we have to we can destruct this already here. We can say, okay, this is the prop that we're getting. So make sure you have brackets around here. Otherwise it's, yeah. So here, anime, images, JPEG dot image URL. Oh, there we have it. We have all of the images now, guys. Oh, sick. And we can get the title, which is anime new title. Maybe it should be a little bit, maybe it's too small. Also, I remember that I changed the height of the card at some point because it looked a little bit big to me, but now I understand. So yeah, that's the life of a developer, you know? You change things and then you change it back again. Common card, CSS, and media card image, media card, media card image height is 230. And the media card itself is bigger. This is what I made smaller, but it has to be bigger. Let me see. I made the image too big, I think. Media card. So let's first see media card, class name image anime. Yeah. And then here at the CSS we say media card. Oh, wait a minute. Media card, we also have a width. I didn't see. Okay, sorry. I only thought so. That's a bit odd. So this is how that is done. Okay, this is how that is done. And now they're not all the same. And I think that has to do with something different. So that is, so let me order this a little bit for you guys here. And I say relative, think, no, let's also remove this color now. And media card, did I switch those around? No. This is a bit odd. Also what I find a bit odd, I didn't do something right with the, sorry, image media card, upcoming card. It's so this is the same, I think, media card. And hey. Oh, wait. So here, start date. I think we can do it differently. So we're, oh my god. Oh, yes. Okay. I thought, why is it not? So you need a dot here, guys. You need a dot here. And why is that? Because this is an image class, but inside the card. So it's not like what we did before with the grid, but it's here. Okay, so whew, I can still code. This is what now is all the images are a certain size, because the styling was just, I knew there was something with the height. I just knew it. So this is what we are looking for. Okay, so super cool. All right, now let's go to the airing card, and here we're going to say airing anime dot, if it's there, map anime, and then return an airing card. And again, we're also going to say here anime, and then we gotta give it a key. And I think, and let me check if oh, it's the same. Yeah, the MLD, like this. Oh, and then we can remove this. We can go to airing card, and card.css, and the airing card here, and the card CSS. Now here we need to get a lot of details, so stay with me. What we're first going to do here, we're first going to set the genres. Set genres, because that's what we want to know about these anime. And so you need to get details per anime. And of course, because we're passing in anime, you have to destructure it here at the top. So here say anime. And you say also the sentences of the genres that you're getting back is always a bit long, so you have to go through it. Dot name, join. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do here is, that the genres of the anime, the genres of the anime are in the, yes, import like this. We're not consoling it anymore, but in the genres, when you take them out, it says genre, and then it has all of the properties. It has it in an array, actually, like this. So it will say fantasy. So it will say genres on an object, and then it will say fantasy, crime, thriller, and then I'm stripping out all of these and then joining them. So that's what I want to do, so I can show that in the cards. So const set genres is genre sentence, and we want to call this function when the app spins up. So use effect, get details anime, and we only want that to change when the anime changes, so not all the time. Okay, so use effect is not defined, that's right. Now we want all of those properties to come here in the JSX at some point. So what we're going to do now is we're going to say that the image, for example, is not source like this anymore. It is now anime.images.jpeg.image URL. And alt, you don't have to say Aaron, you can say anime.title. And here, instead of anime title, you can say anime.new title, like we did at the upcoming. And here at genres, obviously you want to say genres. Episodes, you want to say how many episodes there have been. The episode is not always very, they're not very consequent with mentioning this, so you have to have a either or. So let me now that we're having this, actually let me just console.log formatted anime bear polar bear. Ooh, oosh. Okay, that was a little bit too much. So formatted anime, here you can say that oh look, I got the images. Hey, that's cool. That's super cool. Here we got the images. So what I wanted to show you guys is here the genres. It's an array. You see that? And each array has an object, and that's where you get the name from. So that's why here genre dot name, and then when you see that, join them with a comma. Go through that array and get the ones that have a name and join them into one sentence so it is visible here. So genres, we put that in our own array here at the top, as you can see here. And then anime, and the score, what kind of score? Episode dot score. Oh sorry, anime, I keep thinking episode, I'm so favorites, and then here episode dot favorites. All right, let me see what comes out. Oh no, anime. Hey, that is pretty cool, guys. That is pretty cool. I hope you guys are happy. That is pretty cool. So that is pretty cool. We are done with our media section. Okay, so by the way, the background color of the media section is still black. So let's change some things up. It's also good for the brain. Okay, so the container is, by the way, it's not this color. The container is another kind of color, like a grayish kind of color. Okay, so here 1B. Oh no, that is the anime app, I mean container. Yes, now we have this distinction. Hey, starting to look like something, right? And then the content, we can remove this because that was to show that padding, remember? Now it's starting to show like something. Hey. Now, let's go to lists, and then I'll explain later maybe if there is enough time. Let me get some water. So this is the media section, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm a little bit surprised that it works fully, because I myself got a lot of issues with the rate limitation of Jikan Moe API, and now I don't see any rate and I've done now a few API calls, definitely 1 second. So I had a lot of trouble with that. So I figured a way on how to deal with that, and it works. I'm gonna be honest, I'm doubting to show it here because it's already pretty big build, and it might be good for another time. But let's just keep going because the anime build is so cool. And if don't make things worse, don't make it more difficult if it is. If it works apparently. But I just want to be honest about that. I'm really surprised. What happened in my app is this, and I just want to explain this. Is that I had the rate limit exceeding, and so I had the staggered request, and then what happened was it still got that message. Now, what you can do is when you make the API call, oh, I know why we're also not getting it now. So this is the mistake that I made. First, I made the API call from the front end. And the front end will make an API call. And so Jikan Moe API knows like, hey, there's going to be an API call made. And it's, yeah. I'm wondering whether I should go into this. I think not, guys. I think this is a story for another time. Let's just continue and make this build, okay? Let's just keep the energy up and let's do this. So, let's continue with the list section, okay? This section, the right section, it's not gonna be so long. It's just gonna be this part, okay? So, yeah, and we already have all of the popular animes. And of course, at the top is Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack on Titan, one that you should absolutely be watching if you haven't been watching at all. And if you have been watching it, of course you're gonna watch it another time. I mean, come on, it is so freaking good. Okay, I can hear some people say, it's not that good, Jesse. Are you crazy? A little bit, I'm a little bit crazy, but I do think it's really good. I think at some point the story, it is a pretty difficult story, you know. So like if the first 2 seasons are really good, it's hard to top that with the 3rd season. So I also have a lot of compassion and respect for the makers of Attack on Titan, and nonetheless, it's still my favorite anime. Okay, one of my favorite animes is the one that I waited for 3 years between first season and 2nd season. I would wait for 3 years. You know, I would be excited to wait for that. So let's continue and make the advertisements section, the first one of the list section. All right, so now again here, let's see what we have here. Oh, we have nothing. Well, again here we can just copy the media header and we can just do this, and instead of Sasuke, we now have the girl of Naruto. Not his girl, he wish, but Sakura. She's actually going to become Sasuke's girl in the end, right? Oh, sorry, I didn't want to spoil for everyone, but I mean, that show is so old. Of course, everybody knows. And since we already have the styling of that, we can already see it coming up. So, popular, then of course, this is not going to be a long run, guys, because we have so many things already prepared here. So, of course, in this list section, sorry, I am skipping something because I have Sakura here, popular, but we're forgetting Kiba at the top. So, I'm sorry about that, Kiba. So, let's turn this off for now, and let's copy it. And then let's turn it on, and then say, instead of Sakura, say Kiba. Ooh, not Liba, Kiba. And then say advertisements. And this is just a fun thing that I put here because That's what the Google Anime used to have. Yeah, that's it. And then here, this is where the big image comes in. So we're gonna say here div class name advertisement and image source images advertisement.png. Alt is jujutsu because it's that one, and then close it off. And I already have it here in the app images. I got the advertisement here. Okay, now let's make the advertisement in the global.css. And it has a fixed height. Okay, so let's open up here. Boom. It's really, really, really big. So let's say, so here list section, and then we say advertisement width, or sorry, height, because the width's already correct, as you can see it, because you can see it is responsive, so it will just stretch. And the border is also here still at the top for the media header. So, but the height, we want to change that. Okay, so when we change the height, it should align. But we have to, wait, advertisement. We have to do more advertisement. Strange why it's not changing. Because, am I not? Huh? I'm wearing my glasses. Promise. Wait. Wait, my whole header is not correct here at the top. What's going on? Was this already here before? Okay, this is the anime app. It's the container. Content. What's going on with content? Why is content not staying inside of the container? That's a bit odd. And also suddenly doesn't want to stay inside. So container, so anime app. Oh, I think I know. Or is that not true? Well, the list section, I gave that a flex of 0.3. Maybe that's not correct. Okay, that does not have any effect. Okay, first turn everything off, spin everything on. This is a bit odd. It's also, there's not really 0.7. There's not really that ratio of 0.7, 0.3. So let's see what's going on with that flex. So that's not really correct. So media section. But media section, background color, hello. That is, okay. Container. This is a bit odd. Justify max width container. maybe I am not really, I think maybe I'm not really the advertisement. Ah, wait. Okay, duh. I'm thinking that I've already adjusted the image, so I think it's this. So let's say I adjust the image for real. I thought it has to come smaller if I adjust the height, but I'm also was only adjusting the height of the advertisement. See? Sorry guys. I was judging myself too fast, too hard. So yeah, advertisement. So of course, when we look at advertisement and we make that purple, yeah, you can see it. So that's the whole part of it. Okay, when you make this 500 pixels like this, the advertisement is basically the container for the image. So that's why if I don't say 100% and I say height is 0 like this, but I say now height, it might go over it, and the image, no, it doesn't go over it. That's what I thought. So this is exactly, the advertisement works as a container. So that's why you want to have here, we want to have that fixed. So we say 250 pixel, and then here height is 100%. And then we say contain. So that means it should at least contain the image and make it in ratio and solid. So this is all that's needed. Sorry, I was too fast. Yeah, advertisement. Then we are already at the next, where we say advertisement. Wait, but for advertisement we do need to do a few things. Margin bottom, because I don't want it to be stuck. No, margin bottom, you don't see this, but let's say we have the media header there of Sakura. Let's say we do this. Now it's like this, but then if we have the margin bottom, boom, it gives that space. Okay, so that's why you want to have that. And also you want to have those borders. You don't really see it maybe from a distance, but you want to have the border 1 pixel solid, and it's actually that grayish color like this. And also of course for the left side and for the bottom side. Now also, now that we are already at popular shows, and guess what, for the popular anime it's actually really easy, because we only have to say popular anime dot, see if it's there, pop anime, and then for each popular anime we just say, we just give back a whole paragraph, and then we say pop anime dot title, and that's it. And by the way, this should be in a div class. So here, popular anime. Hey, there we have it. And then let's style it a little bit. So let's make this dark blue so it's visible. Popular anime. And then say padding 10 pixel, overflow hidden, margin bottom 10 pixel, and then of course borders on the right side like this one here, and actually all of those things. So you can just boom, copy paste that. Oh, there we go. And a little bit of border radius. No, it's not needed. We already have some border radius. Okay, so let me get rid of the list sections. List sections, kept it so clean. You can even leave this out if you want. now we are at the last part, guys. We are at the last part. Woo! Now genres can come after the popular anime. Okay, so let me see, because this is still, as you can see, is still here, still inside of list section. And what we're gonna do, of course, we're gonna copy the media header. And who is it this time? It is nobody less than Neji. I had to think of it with the Byakugan, of course. So I wouldn't say Naruto is my most favorite anime, but it's definitely a classic that, you know, if you grew up with that, that's pretty dope. So here, genres, and once we have that, we can say media header. Below the media header, we can say div class name, and then we're gonna have a genres of anime that are available on this website, and we can make a genres list. But where is this genres list? Okay, so this is not via an API call. It's not via data from somewhere else. This is just a file. I just want to show you guys there are different ways to work with data in the Next.js app. I could also do this in the server side, but I just made a really simple folder that goes into the source. So you do have to go into source, and it's called data, and the data has a genres list, and it just has a full list of genres. So what I would do if I were you, I would just ask ChatGPT anime genres and make you a list like this. So what you do is you make let genres list, you make an array with all of these genres in there, and then you export default that so you can use that in page.js. And here at the top, I would say import genres list, and see, it's already gonna give me that. Okay, so then here at the bottom, I say genres list. So I say, hey, if genres list is there, brackets genres list, then map through each genre and return a paragraph of genre. Ooh. Like this, I believe. Yes, and of course it needs a little bit of styling because now it's just very I would say super clean. And by the way, this also looks a little bit different. It's actually supposed to be blue and small and just a little bit more fancy. So here, popular anime, actually, anime, it already gives me the class P. And this one is a very specific P, so that's why it needs a little bit more of styling. So Mukta sans serif, and color, and it has that infamous, yeah, and now my app remembers that. Font size 12 pixel, font weight 550, oh, not pixel by the way, and padding left 8 pixel. Hey, that is looking good. And now for the genres, and then we're almost done, guys. Genres, anime, display. Ooh, I have it in a grid here, because here I have 2 columns that I want those genres to be in. As you can see, this is a bit of a design principle here, that if you have a nice padding, if you have nice padding here at this side, then you're also going to have nice padding here, so it really aligns up and it's straight. So that's what's nice about it. And of course, this is also the League Spartan font, and this is the Mukta font. So just to give it a little bit more juice. The original website, Gogo Anime, it looks like this. They have different ones. Getting here. So it looks a little bit different, but they just have one font and a little bit simpler. Okay, so here, action, almost display grid, and here we could say grid template columns, repeat to fr. We could use that one from airing if we want to, actually, so we could even say that. I think let's try it out. We could say anime grid and then here airing, but then we just say 2 columns, or do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just a way you could also say genres, but then you would still have to specify it. And then you would say here, so it doesn't really matter. For now, we can just say genres anime. But this is just to show you and how you think about while you're doing things. You're already thinking of how to do it better. So font family, here the league, Spartan, sans serif, and color is white but not too white. Font size 18 pixel, font weight 500, and padding on the left side just like at the top. All right, I think we're complete, guys. I think we are complete. If you loved watching this YouTube, please let me know on Instagram, on my LinkedIn, if you watch this video. By the way, below in the description, you can join my AI hackathon. If you love building apps and if you love learning new technology, this is your chance. You're going to be building more AI apps with me for the next 2 days, in 2 days in a row. And yeah, it's just going to be a lot of fun. You should check it out, and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.